Mortgage rates are up. Supply demand imbalance. We're all a little bit concerned about the interest rates. I mean, beyond how it affects me and my business. I mean, we're talking about mortgage rates are affecting your personal loans, your credit cards, your car loans, let alone your house loans. I mean, interest rates affect all of us. I'm not going to show you this entire video, but the interesting thing is our interest rates are really pretty well tied to inflation. You've heard that all over the news. We're predicting that inflation is actually going to start to ease here in the fourth quarter of this year and the first quarter of next year. We're also predicting that interest rates will be near that 5% level at that time. You really don't want to know where they are today. Today they're around 7%, which is crazy. So we're all pretty lucky if you own a home that you have that. But, we're also a little worried that maybe because our experience has been the housing bubble. Our prices went up in '08 and then all of a sudden they dropped dramatically, about 20% here locally, from '08 to 2012. So we're kind of used to what is a recession or what is this housing bubble, and it really, our home values haven't changed at all. And matter of fact, we're instead of seeing 5 to 10% appreciation per year, yes, we're kind of predicting that we're going to have single-digit appreciation over the next few years to balance things out. But the media does a great job at sensationalizing things and making things difficult. Listen to Barry.
Now, the media is also doing a lot to scare people, but this is nothing new. Diana Olick and so many others, they've been trying to scare people for the last 10 years, and they've been wrong for the past 10 years. But let me just show you, she has put out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, literally, not exaggerating, of negative stories about housing over the past several years. Let me just give you a few. Back in 2015, she said, we're in a housing bubble larger than 2006. So if your client watched this and didn't buy the $300,000 home, well, what happened? They missed out on 5.1% appreciation or $15,000 gain. So the next year, did she say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Sorry, I cost you $15,000. No, she says, we're in a new housing bubble. But then she cost him another $17,000. So the next year she says, home ownership doesn't build wealth. You should be renting. Well, if you think about it, can you name one person who didn't build wealth in the last 5 years in the housing market? And in that 1 year in 2017, she cost people another $20,000. So the following year, she makes a big stand and she said, it's much better to rent than to buy in the housing market. Well, show me one person in the last 4 years that was better off renting. And she cost you another $14,000. So in the middle of 2019, she comes out with her major announcement, major news story, major thing that she was saying, big announcement. The housing market's about to shift in a bad way. Well, the remainder of the year, values went up another $15,000. So I guess it was only bad if you didn't buy a home. And then at the end of 2019, again, no apology offered for all this, but she says at the end of 2019, next year is going to be really hard on the housing market. But if you listen to her, you lost another $60,000. So a year ago, she said, hey, the housing boom, it's over. But prices have gone up another $80,000 since then. So that $300,000 home's gone up almost $250,000.
I mean, you build wealth with real estate. You build wealth with real estate. I mean, if you haven't made 30, 40% over the past 3 years in your home, then I got to know where you live, because all of our homes have gone up quite a bit. So the fears, be careful what you listen to in the media, because it is quite sensationalized. I'm not saying it's all wrong, but I'm saying you got to look at the numbers behind the numbers. I appreciate Mark Kuchik and Cross Country Mortgage for bringing some information my way. Remember, keep an eye on inflation. You're going to see the inflation numbers kind of get a little bit more controlled here in the fourth quarter, and in the first quarter of next year, you're going to see interest rates come back down, but we're not going to see housing values go down. So I definitely wouldn't wait to buy, because if you wait to buy, as you can see here, waiting just costs you money, and we need to build wealth.